Tom is targeting women in their teens.
Every instinct screamed, "Report it!"
And blackouts.
I was so scared back then.
Tom's method of using his status to lure and sexually assault women, if the allegations are true, he's totally Jeffrey Epstein. Welcome back. Continuing from our last video, we are still following the case of Marie Sinclair's mysterious death. In our last video, we covered the shocking allegations of sexual assault against actor Tom Sinclair. Tom is the husband of the late actress Marie Sinclair, who suddenly passed away on May 1st. His heartfelt Instagram posts mourning her brought many people to tears. However, the very next day, TikTok star Green Penny came forward, shattering his image as a romantic husband. She exposed him as a sexual offender. As people were left shocked and debates ensued, another victim spoke out. Charming Charlotte, the CEO and influencer behind Charming Charlotte Couture. With two victims now speaking up, public opinion was once again stirred. To summarize their revelations, when Penny was 15, she followed her sister Penelope to the Super Kelly Academy set and was cast as an extra playing a student. At the wrap party, she snuck into an adults-only club party with her sister, where she met Tom, got drunk, blacked out, and woke up to find herself in a tragic situation. In Charlotte's case, she went to an influencer's party in 2017. There, she met a casting director who invited her to a private party at a luxurious mansion. She met Tom, got drunk, and blacked out. When she came to, she found herself in the middle of a crime. She tried to resist, but he forced himself on her. Finally, both women said they were threatened by Tom a few days later. The common elements in their stories, alcohol, blackouts, and threats, have led people to find their accusations credible. Negative public opinion about Tom has been growing, but the disclosures didn't stop there. Yesterday, another victim spoke out about Tom's sexual assault on the radio. Her name is Sarah Johnson, a YouTuber known for her vlogs and dance videos. Her story goes back to 7 years ago when she was a cheerleader, long before she became the ordinary mom and YouTuber. Speaking out as a victim, she appeared on a radio podcast to share her story and expose Tom's dark past.
Welcome back, listeners. Today we have a very special and brave guest who has come forward to share her story. Please welcome Sarah Johnson. Sarah, thank you for being here. Can you start by telling us a bit about your background?
Thank you for having me. Okay, I was a cheerleader, but it ended 7 years ago. After a game, my cheerleading team went to a club. There, a casting director gave me his business card. Through him, I auditioned for a small role. Yeah, Tom was there. After the audition, the casting director suggested dinner with Tom. I didn't know it would turn into a tragedy. I just thought I got the audition and it was a chance to get to know him.
That must have been quite an experience. What happened next?
Place was packed, drinks flowing like nobody's business. Just to clarify, listen, I can hold my liquor. Bottle of Bacardi, piece of cake, and it wasn't an excessive amount. It was just more socially. Then nothing. I blacked out, and then when I came to, I was naked, and his lips on mine. Tried to fight him off, but my body wouldn't listen. Just wanted it all to stop, the pain, the fear.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What did you do afterward?
He sauntered off to the shower, and that's when I finally felt myself coming back. Stumbled home, a mess. Every instinct screamed, "Report it!" But what about my husband, who was a basketball player on the same team at the time? Couldn't risk anything messing with his career, so I swallowed it down, that ugly truth.
That sounds incredibly difficult. How did you cope with seeing Tom in the media?
Every time Tom appeared on TV, I turned it off. Ugh! Then, one day, watching the news with my daughter, she says she feels bad for him. That's when I knew. Couldn't stay quiet no more. The silence, honey, that's the real pain.
When she was a cheerleader, her team was invited to a party. There, she met a casting director and was asked to audition for a movie. Tom was one of the judges at the audition. After the audition, she ended up drinking with Tom and got drunk. Yes, she blacked out too. When she regained consciousness, she found herself in that situation, and strangely couldn't move her body. She endured the painful moment, hoping it would end soon. When Tom went to shower, she finally managed to move and fled the hotel room, running home. She spent a long time in pain and has now decided to reveal her hidden suffering. More victims are now emerging one by one on social media. Even model Bella Ivanov has joined in exposing Tom's dirty past. People were shocked to learn that she is also one of Tom's victims. A rising star in the fashion industry, Bella Ivanov first graced the runway in 2015. The Russian-born model has since become a staple in the fashion world. When the famous model Bella spoke out, people began to pay more attention to the voices of the victims. She posted a long message on Instagram along with a black image. In that message, she detailed the crimes she experienced at the hands of Tom. Internet sleuths say there are clues in her posts. 9 years ago, Bella was introduced to Tom through a friend whom people have speculated to be the late model Vianka. Vianka was not a well-known model, but she frequently posted about her friendship with Bella on Instagram. At the time, Bella was not following Vianka. This led some to think she was just seeking attention. However, internet sleuths have found past posts where Tom is mentioned, leading to speculation that the friend Bella referred to is likely Vianka. Here's the photo where it seems like Vianka is mentioning Tom. She posted it with a cryptic caption. "Someone special reminds me of a fierce Viking whenever I see this hat. Wonder if they'd conquer a dragon with me." She's wearing a Viking-inspired hat and says it reminds her of someone special. Viking... The first thing that comes to mind is Tom's movie Kingdom of the Baltic. Given the connection to Bella and the fact she mentioned a Viking from Tom's movie, it's hard to believe that Vianka isn't involved in this case. Going back to Bella's story, Bella, Vianka, and Tom went out for drinks, and Bella became intoxicated. When she regained consciousness, the assault had already occurred. He told her he would help with her modeling career. This seems to imply that such incidents might continue in exchange for his sinister assistance. Of course, she refused his offer, and it appears he subtly threatened her by flaunting his connections with powerful fashion editors in front of her. Green Penny, Charming Charlotte, Sarah Johnson, and Bella Ivanov. Already 4 victims have come forward, putting their faces and names to their stories. We'll need to wait for the investigation to proceed, but there's a consistent pattern in the victims' testimonies. The fact that multiple victims' accounts are consistent adds to their credibility. This consistency points to Tom's repeated criminal method. First, it seems that Tom targets young women. Penny was 15 years old when she filmed Super Kelly Academy. Charlotte met Tom in 2017, and she is currently 28 years old, which means she was 21 at the time. Bella is now 27, so 9 years ago she would have been 18. Lastly, Sarah is currently 30, so 7 years ago she would have been 23. It seems like Tom is targeting women in their teens to early 20s. Secondly, he exploits his celebrity status. The venue where he met Green Penny was an exclusive party for actors. He attended a gathering of young actors in their early 20s to congratulate them. It must have felt like a grand entrance on his part. This was a clear demonstration of his power as a Hollywood star. It gives off the impression that he went to that party like a predator hunting for prey. In Charlotte's story, a significant person emerges, the casting director. This person might be the same casting director mentioned in Sarah's story. This casting director invited her to a private film industry party at a luxurious villa. A private party at a high-end villa attended by big names definitely raises red flags. Regular people would be overwhelmed by their dazzling fame. In Bella's case, she met Tom when she was still an unknown model. He even offered to help her with her modeling career in exchange for an inappropriate relationship. As for Sarah, she was approached by the casting director that Charlotte mentioned. He made it seem like she had a chance to become an actress, leading her to an audition where Tom was one of the judges. Sarah couldn't help but be overwhelmed by his status. Third, alcohol and blackouts. This is the most serious allegation against him. All 4 women, Penny, Charlotte, Bella, and Sarah, drank with Tom and then blacked out, leading to non-consensual sex, essentially rape. Sarah specifically said, "It wasn't an excessive amount, it was just more socially." This makes us question whether they were simply drunk or if something suspicious, like illegal drugs, was added to their drinks. Lastly, there are the threats. Tom threatened them after the crime. He was a Hollywood big shot, and they were aspiring actresses, wannabe models, micro-influencers, and local basketball team cheerleaders. His threats made them feel that staying silent was better for their futures. This is how he managed to keep them quiet for so many years. Tom's methods are reminiscent of Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier who cultivated a powerful social circle. Behind the facade of wealth and influence, a horrifying truth lay hidden. He was arrested and charged with running a sex trafficking operation, accused of sexually abusing underage girls for years. Tom's method of using his status to lure and sexually assault women, then threatening them into silence, is identical to Jeffrey Epstein's. If the allegations are true, he's totally Jeffrey Epstein. If you want to learn more about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, I recommend watching Jeffrey Epstein Filthy Rich on Netflix. Inspired by the bravery of victims who have spoken out, other survivors are finding their own voices and sharing their stories. On Platform X, Tom's victims have begun sharing their testimonies. The testimonies shared on X will be addressed as the investigation progresses. The Me Too movement is gaining momentum again. Given the current trend, it is expected that more victims will come forward. Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse is estimated to have impacted well over 100 victims, with the youngest being only 14 years old. While authorities identified 36 victims, the significantly higher number of compensation claims suggests the true scope of the abuse may be much larger. Jeffrey Epstein was an American financier and sex offender. So could Tom also be a disgusting criminal hiding behind the mask of Hollywood's grieving husband? If these allegations are true, his emotional eulogy for Marie's death would be truly repulsive. In an unexpected turn of events, Hollywood is starting to turn its back on Tom. Celebrities who were following Tom are unfollowing him, and today, Tom's Instagram account has been switched to private. What does it mean that he switched his account to private? Could it be an admission of guilt? The police investigation has just begun. If the victim's claims are all true, Tom will face the full force of the law for his alleged sexual assault of a minor. Additionally, I hope the investigation uncovers any truth to the allegations of illegal drug use related to the blackout. Hollywood has had a week of shock. At the start of the week, Tom was seen as a romantic husband, but now he faces shocking allegations of sexual abuse. I'll be keeping a close eye on this case and bringing you all the latest updates as they come in. Please leave your theories and interpretations in the comments. I hope you found this video insightful, and I'll see you in a new one soon.